everyone, morning. Oh, got a frog in my throat this morning. Welcome. Hope you're all fit and well. Thank you for joining me. So today in our yoga practice we'll be focusing on Sun Salutations. Sun Salutations usually consist of about 12 postures that are done in succession with your breath. So you're just sort of flowing from one pose to the next. They're usually done at the beginning of a practice as a warm-up, but today what we'll be doing is breaking one Sun Salutation down and then running through it at the end of the practice. So quite a few strong drills in here this morning. Sun Salutations, they help to improve your circulation, they stimulate your nervous system and they raise body heat, so it will get quite strong this morning. Maybe a bit tough on the wrists and on the shoulders, so as always, you know, practice with care, listen to your body. And if something doesn't feel right, then don't do it. Okay, shall we start? Enjoy the practice, everyone. Just before we begin, I'll see who's in. Oh, morning, Kerry. Bring them on camera. What does that mean? Okay, I'll look into that later. Right, we'll make a start, everyone. We're going to start today in a supine position. So, laying on your back. Okay, just let yourself settle into a nice comfy position. If you push the back of your head into the mat, so you can lift and separate the shoulder blades before relaxing them back down. Take the hands to rest where they feel comfortable, so that might be away from the sides of your body, or it might be, you know, your hands on your tummy. Just spend a few moments of stillness here at the beginning of the practice, so maybe close your eyes and take your focus to your breath. Breathing in and out through the nose. Feeling your body moving with your breath. An integral part of our practice, particularly today with Sun Salutations, this link with your breath. Starting to allow your breath to settle, your body to settle, and your mind to settle. Take it now into a full body stretch, and next time you breathe in, take the arms up overhead, point the toes, point the fingers, become as long as you can possibly be. Really stretch it out. Knee to chest pose, right side. So let's take the right knee towards the chest, just hold on to the top of the shin to begin with. So draw the knee up, draw the knee down. Hopefully feeling something going on here around the right hip. Move it into an upside down lunge. So we're flexing the feet now. Take hold of the back of the right knee. Maybe draw the knee up and down a little bit more. Can you stack your right ankle above the knee? Lots of lunges in the type of sun salutation that we're doing today. This is good prep. Keep the spine long on the mat. Toe to sky pose this time. Let's point the toes and start to straighten this right leg. See how that feels. See how you're feeling in the hamstrings today. Do you need to perhaps do a few turns of your foot? Warm your ankles up. Oh, I'm creaking this morning. Okay, let's release. Back down to this supine position, and we'll take these little preps left side. So starting with your knee to chest pose. Draw the knee up and draw it down. Feet relaxed to begin with. Upside down lunge, so flexing the feet this time, and just supporting the back of the knee as you make this lunge shape with your body. And now pointing the toes, let's take it into toe to sky pose. Lovely hamstring stretch. Lovely, okay, release. One more to do here, waterfall pose. Just bring your knees in towards your chest and float the feet up towards the ceiling. Okay, so to begin with, feet are relaxed. Knees nice and soft. Just see how that feels. Focus on lengthening the spine on the mat. Now taking it a little bit stronger, we're going to pull the toes back towards the shins, push the back of the knees away from you and push your sacrum down into the mat. So hopefully you're noticing this is feeling a lot stronger down the back of the legs. Just pausing here for 3 breaths. For 2. For 1. Relax it across the ankles. We're going to rock up. Are we all okay? Coming to an all fours position. So we're going to set our tabletop pose. I put something on Facebook this morning about protecting your wrists in yoga. I shared somebody else's post. Worth bearing in mind, so really spreading the fingers, pushing your fingertips into the mat and sort of lifting from this bit in the middle of your hand. Stacking your shoulders above your wrists, your hips above your knees. We're going to come into cow pose and just pause here for a breath or 2. So sending the chest forwards and the gaze forwards. Tummy's relaxed, nice little dip in the lower back. Just pause here for a breath, get the feel of the pose. Now take it into cat stretch. Really push into the mat with hands and knees. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Take your pelvis towards your navel and dome the back. Pause. Thinking a couple of these with breath. So next time you breathe in, come into your cow pose. Nice and smooth and slow. And next time you breathe out, take your cat stretch. Really exaggerate that movement on the spine. Feel lovely. Okay, let's take that one more time with breath. One more cow on an in-breath. And one more cat stretch on an out-breath. Come back to your tabletop position. Still working with breath. We're going to come from here into downward dog a few times with breath. This is another lovely way to warm up. So turn the toes. Next time you breathe in, float up to your downward facing dog. And as you breathe out with control, lower back down to this tabletop position. How does that feel? Should we take that a few more times? Breathing in. Soften the neck when you get to downward facing dog. And breathe out, lower back down tabletop. Keep these elbows locked. Let's go again. Breathing in. And out. We're going to pause in downward facing dog this time. Next time you breathe in, come up. Softening of the knees, push into the mat with your hands to get your chest closer to your thighs, and then walk it out. Pedal the heels up and down. One leg straightens, the other leg bends, and sway the hips from side to side. Get everything nice and loose. Perfect. Okay, we're going to lower the knees back down. So back to this tabletop position. Resting on the tops of the feet, heart center pose. Take your hips back from your knees and stretch the hands away along the mat. And then rest your forehead down. So hands mat distance. Helps you get a really lovely stretch on the shoulders. See how that feels. If it's not for you this morning, perhaps come back to extended child's pose. Or if you want more, rest on your chin. Let your tummy relax. Let your chest sink down towards the mat. 2 more breaths. And then we're going to come down into a crane position. So coming onto your tummy. Nice gentle back bend. So take your feet mat distance here. Elbows kind of underneath your shoulders. Resting on the forearm. So again, this hand lock I spoke about earlier on, really spreading the fingers. Pushing your fingertips, tips of your thumbs into the mat. And push into your elbows so you can get this nice lift on the chest. Gaze is forwards. Push your hips down into the mat. Couple more breaths here. Shoulders released away from the ears. One more breath. and then push back into a child's pose. So bottom back towards the heels. You can either have extended child's pose, so arms out in front, or maybe you want to stack your fists and rest your head on your hands. Just pause here while I see you's in. Hi Bianca. Hi everyone. Okay, releasing your child's pose now. Should we reset our tabletop position? Sunbird pose, and then we're going to link it with our breath. Elbows locked, feel strong. Let's take the right leg back. Push into the ball of the foot to engage the muscles of the leg. Reach forward left hand and take your gaze towards that left thumb. Come into your balance, so cores engaged, and push into the mat left knee, right hand to get that lift and stretch. Maybe you can lift your hand and your leg a little bit more. 2 more breaths. Okay, we're going to link it with our breath now. So next time you breathe out, you're going to draw your knee towards your nose, your elbow into the centre, and a breath in to lengthen. Let's go again. Breathing out, breathing in, and one more time. And release back to your tabletop. Let's go with our other leg. So sending your left leg back, engage the muscles of the legs, engage the core, send your right hand forward. Carefully come into your balance and pause for a couple of breaths. Really pushing into the mat, get that lift. Now let's work with breath. So as you breathe out, draw your elbow and knee into the centre. And as you breathe in, lengthen. And again. And one more time. And release. Plank pose. Okay, so back into your tabletop position. Take your right leg back, just as we did when we were coming into sunbird pose. So really push into the ball of the foot, leg feels strong, cores engaged, tilt the pelvis towards the navel. Let's take left leg back to join the right. Spine's long, shoulders above your wrists, neck's long as well. So looking towards the top of your mat. Pull that belly button up towards the spine. Let's pause for 3, for 2, for 1. Well done. Release down to your knees. Few shoulder rotations, just to release the shoulders. Are we all feeling okay? Maybe if your wrists are feeling it, you want to circle the hands a bit. Okay, so we're going to start a few drills now in preparation for doing our sun salutations. We're going to start by coming back up into downward facing dog. So we're going to flow from downward facing dog into a variation of plank with our breath. Okay, turning the toes, pushing up, downward facing dog. The next time you breathe in, scroll forward. You've come into a plank pose, but you'll notice this time your shoulders are in front of your wrists, a bit stronger. And then breathe out, come back, downward facing dog. How does that feel? We'll just give it a few more goes. Breathing in to come forward into a version of plank. Breathing out, push back, downward facing dog. Let's go again. Try not to sag too much in the middle like I just did then. And one more time, breathing in, scroll forwards. And breathing out, come back. 2 options. Catch your breath in downward facing dog, so pause here for a few breaths, or if you prefer, come into extended child's pose for a couple of breaths. We're all feeling okay. Hi Donna. ready for the next drill. Let's all meet in downward facing dog. Three-legged dog this time, and then again we're going to take knee to nose, similar to what we did with our sunbird pose. So push up into your downward facing dog. Next time you breathe in, sweep up with the right leg, three-legged dog. Come onto the ball of the left foot. Really reach up some more with that right. Push into the mat with your hands, get your chest close to that left thigh, then sink the left heel down. Okay, I'm going to take a bend in the right leg. We're connecting this with our breath now, so next time you breathe out, scroll forward, take your right knee towards your nose, and then as you breathe in, extend. Take that again, breathing out, knee to nose. Breathing in, three-legged dog. Let's do that one more time, right leg. And release that right leg. Pedal it out in the middle. Are we ready to go left side? Okay. Set your downward facing dog. Let's go. So next time you breathe in, sweep up left leg. Really stretch it out. Get your chest close to that right thigh as you sink the heel down. Keep the elbows locked. Keep pushing the hands into the mat. Let's bend the left leg. Connecting it to our breath. Breathing out, drawing knee to nose. And breathing in. Extend. Let's go a couple more times. Nice and smooth and controlled. Keeping that connection with breath and movement. And again, knee to nose. Breathing in. Stretch it out and release. We need to just walk it out. Ooh. Lower to the knees. Again, maybe a release of the wrist, release of the shoulders. I'm going to take my hands behind and squeeze and lift. That feels quite good. And take them out in front. And release. Okay, our next drill, knee dips. So again, we're going to come into a plank position from tabletop. So if you just set your tabletop pose with your hand lock, elbows locked, take one leg back and then the other, just as we did before in that first version of plank. Pelvis towards a navel, spines long. And we're just simply going to breathe out, take the knees down, and breathe in, back up. So not too bad this one, is it? Let's take it again. Breathing out, taking knees down. Breathing in, lift. Let's do that one more time. And we're going to lower all the way down onto our tummy. Another back bend. So just see, if your hands are underneath your shoulders here. And elbows. Draw them into your ribs, so really pin them into your sides, resting on the tops of your feet. Let's come into a baby cobra pose. On an in-breath, it's a lift. Your chest is forward, your gaze is forward. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Pausing for 3. For 2, of these elbows pinned in. For 1. Let's come back into a child's pose to release the back. Relax the shoulders. Notice how you're feeling. A couple of breaths here. Lovely. And now push back up into your tabletop position. So we're going to come back into that plank, but with the knees on the floor. This one's a little bit tougher. So take your plank, take the legs back, tilt the pelvis forward, spines long, necks long, and then take the knees down to the mat. So they should be way back from your hips here. Think about how your elbows were in that version of Cobra that we've just done. You want to be sort of bringing them in towards the centre line. Chin dips. Okay. So tuck these elbows in, lower the chin. Push into the hands, Can you come back up? How was that? Can we take a couple more? Lower the chin slowly with control and push back up. Let's take that again. Oh, feel the burn. We're coming down one more time, slowly with control, as slow as you can. And this time, releasing all the way down onto the tummy, resting on the tops of the feet, so hands should be underneath your shoulders. If they're not, we're going to take them there. We're coming up into Cobra again, this time a bit higher. So on your in-breath, striking up Cobra pose, chest is forward, gaze is towards the ceiling maybe. Pull the shoulders away from the ears, still a slight bend in the arms, but tuck those elbows in towards your ribs. Shoulders away from the ears. Spread the fingers, push your hands into the mat, it's quite strong. For 3, for 2, for 1. We're going to come straight back, downward facing dog. Turn your toes, push into your hands and swing back. Oh, walk it out, some yeses and nos with the head to release any potential tension in the neck. How are we all feeling? Are we all feeling okay? Right, we're going to come from here into plank pose. So scrolling forward into that other version of plank we did with the shoulders in front of the wrists. Let's lower the knees from here. Let's bend the arms, lower the chin, and then lower all the way onto our tummy and come up into this high cobra position. Good. And let's turn the toes, swing back. We're just going to run through that one more time. So back into your downward facing dog. Scrolling over the shoulders, high plank. This time try and do it all in one go. So knees, elbows, chin. Swing the chest through, cobra pose. Turn the toes. Oh, swing back, downward facing dog. Let's pedal it out. Maybe shaking the head from side to side, sway the hips. We're going to come into dangling pose now. Oh, the feet towards the hands. Take hold of your elbows. Soft knees, soft neck. And just dangle. So you might want to hold this still. You may want to sway from side to side. Take the opportunity here to catch your breath. I just see who else has joined us. Hi Tracy. I can't see many names on here today. I can see there's 20 odd people, but I usually can see you on the bottom. I must have done something to my phone. Right, okay. We're going to come up to standing. So soft knees, chin in towards the chest. And use your next in-breath to very slowly roll up. Keep holding on to the elbows. This is good. And as you come to the top, take the arms back alongside your ears. Just pull the shoulder blades down the back, the shoulders away from the ears. And then take fingertips up towards the ceiling. Feet hip distance, really pushing the feet into your mat. Stretch out, reach up to the ceiling, maybe you reach back slightly in your upward facing mountain. And then release. Release your arms by the side and walk it out. Right, that's it there. We've done all the prep. We're going to run through, I think we can get at least 4 in, 4 Sun Salutations. So we're going to link everything together that we've just done. Right, come towards the top of your mats. Work at your own pace. So don't worry so much about linking the moves with your breath. That sort of comes with practice. Feet hip distance. Really spread the toes. Push your feet into the mat. Feel strong. Engage the core. We're going to take a breath in. Come into your upward facing mountain. Stretch it out. And on an out breath, soften the knees. Fold forward at the hips. You've come into forward fold. Bend the legs enough enough so you can get your hands onto the mat. So some of you, you know, your legs might be straight. Some of you might need to take quite a deep bend here. We're going to come from here into a low lunge. We're stepping back, left leg. Toes, fingertips in one line. Your low lunge position. From here, we're going to step back into a downward facing dog. There we go. From downward facing dog, we're scrolling forward into our high plank. Your 8-point pose, so you're lowering your knees, bending your arms, lowering your chin. Send your chest forward, come into your cobra pose. Turn the toes, swing back, downward facing dog. We're going to step through with the left leg to come into a low lunge position. Right leg joins it, forward fold. Then breathing in, reaching up, upward facing mountain. Bring your palms together and draw them down in front of your chest. That was our first round. Let's go again. Breathing in. Breathing out, forward fold. This time we're going to step back, right leg, so low lunge with the left foot forwards. And then swing back, downward facing dog. Scroll forwards into your high plank. Lower knees, bend the arms, lower chin. Swing the chest forwards, cobra pose. Turn the toes, swing back, downward facing dog. Right foot comes forwards, low lunge. Left foot joins it, forward fold. Breathe in, upward facing mountain. Breathe out, palms together, mountain pose. Let's go again. Breathing in, upward facing mountain. Breathing out, forward fold. Breathing in, left leg goes back, low lunge. Breathing out, downward facing dog. Breathing in, high plank. Breathing out, lower, 8-point pose. Breathing in, cobra pose. Breathing out, downward facing dog. Breathing in, left foot goes forwards, low lunge. Breathing out, right foot joins it, forward fold. Breathing in, upward facing mountain. Breathing out, hands heart center. One more time. Breathing in. And out. Right foot goes back this time. Downward facing dog. High plank. And lower. Cobra pose. Swing back, downward facing dog. So through right foot, low lunge. Left foot joins it. Breathing in. Palms together. And draw them down in front of your heart center. How was that? Well done, everyone. We just come down and do a nice closing pose, a nice twist, I think. Should we come down in a squat? So take your feet a little bit wider than your hips, feet 10 to 2. Hands together, heart center. Float up onto the balls of the feet, engage the core. And then slowly sinking down into your lovely garland pose, your squat. And take the hands forward, coming down. Ooh. And we're going to roll down into a semi-supine position. So slowly, carefully rolling down, legs bent. Take the arms out to the side. So you can either have them out straight, shoulder height, or have cactus arms. We have 90-degree bend in the arms. Just find the breath here. And then next time you breathe out, take your knees to the left, take your gaze to the right. Allow a slowing down of the breath, the heart rate. Relaxing into the pose. Let's take that opposite side, breathe in, bring it back to the centre. Breathe out, knees to the right, gaze to the left. Minimal muscular effort, let your body sink into the twist. And then draw that back to the centre, hug your knees in, give yourself a lovely big hug. And then rocking back up to seated. Well done everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. So the Sun Salutation theme was a request. If anyone else has any requests, please message me. So my next session is on Zoom, that's tomorrow, 12:30, that's a hot pod flow. And again, well done everyone, thank you for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day and I'll see you all again soon, thank you. Bye everyone.